everybody, and welcome to Star Darbar. This evening is quite so special for all of my viewers. Yes, as you know already, that who are here with us tonight. Yes, the whole team of Opium Moon is right here with us. You will be really amazed to know these performers, that how come this band is not only something totally different, but they really are different because they were musicians from different parts of the world, and they brought this beautiful team together. You won't even believe it. I want to ask you guys that it's been third season of Star Darbar, and you know me, that I love music, I love the musician, I love the art, I love whatever is related to the art. And it's my pleasure and honor to welcome the team Opium Moon in tonight's Star Darbar. Hello, everybody, guys. How are you? How you been?
Hello.
How are you? Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So first, I have to let you guys meet with everybody, right? Because you can see all of us together and you are saying, who is who? Yes, of course. Right, that blue and the purple, that combination you can see on the screen, that beautiful, gorgeous air is none other than Lily Hayden and Itai. Hello, guys. One more time.
Hello.
Yes. And of course, right next to him or them, I can say, it's Hamid from
Iran. Hi.
Yes. Okay. All right. You know, I just love the tune or the rhythm from that country. I will tell you later on that I heard so many music from there, seriously. And of course, then we have the percussionist, and who is Mr. Beautiful Gordy. Is MB Gordy. That is my name, actually, Mr. Beautiful. I don't know if there is any like that, but he's the rhythmist, and he's actually the person who is really making it rock and roll, because without him, I doubt that anybody, if there's anyone of you are missing, I don't think the team is even there, right? So exactly. So we would love to know from all of you that how this started, guys. What was your plan? I mean, from like the different part of the world, you all came in together and started this beautiful band. So my viewers would love to know that how it started.
Well, we all have our solo projects, and we're all composers. And but when we found each other, we just fell in love with each other's sound, and we knew that we had to make a record together. And we just got together for the pure, simple love of making music, because this world is so commercial, and there's so many business concerns, and then you have political concerns and all of that. But sometimes the world can be too much, and this music together, playing together, is really like the break from all the garbage. It really is like the heaven, that it's the heavenly gift that was given to us to play music together. So we just got together for the pure love of the music, and then it turned into albums and Grammys.
Wow. And how about Itai? Like, what was your thought when you guys came together?
You see, sound does not recognize borders. Sound goes through walls, around walls, in the air, and it's available everywhere. And so once we had the privilege of meeting master musicians and realizing that we all have common ground, and we all share the love of the music and the depth of how we listen to each other and how much we respect each other, we realized that this is it's like a lotus pond to grow beautiful lotus flowers. And we just allowed ourselves to stay in that space and not bow down to commercialism, not bound to like, you have to make it 3 minutes, you have to have, this is just, what is the sound of creation that comes through us? And we allowed this to happen. And then we're so happy that the world recognized it and said, you know what, this is actually worth awarding. This is worth paying attention to. And we just want to continue.
How about Hamid?
for me, as I told you before, I love these guys. These are like my family here. When we start this project, that the thing that was very significant for me was and is that working, recording, and creating music with these people are extremely easy. When we get together, we just start playing, and each time we create something new. And this is just a gift. As Lily said, we all have our own solo project. We are doing production, and going to studios and bring the big orchestra and do this and do that. uh, those are beautiful projects too, but I think I realized that recently, that the divine is extremely easy,
Mm.
and working with these people are extremely easy.
Now, what I am finding from your voice is the love towards music, and you are so passionate, and you all are, of course. I mean, because you all have like your own projects, you all are composers and great musicians by yourselves, and but still you guys are coming together, and I do believe that it takes a lot of time to practice, guys. And I want Gordy to tell about it a little bit more, that how long are the practice sessions, because I think that all of you, even though I know that you guys are really awesome, but I think that before you go on stage or plan something new, I think that there is lots of worry, talking, planning. So how that goes?
Well, there is a lot that goes into it for sure. And let's see, I'm going to back up here for a second just to talk about, I was the last person to come into this ensemble. And when we got together here at my studio, and we just immediately started. I thought, well, we all thought like, well, let's record this and then that became the record. I mean, then it was again and again and again. But then, so that was what the process was for the first record. Now, in terms of, so what came into that, we just jumped right in and did it. I mean, that was then. Okay, now since then, and when we were doing shows in Los Angeles, when there were shows to be doing in Los Angeles, there was definitely, practice sessions that we do 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever. And honing a set list and honing like the themes and honing like, oh, okay, who's going to play what, where, and so deciding the form of the tunes and the solos and the order of the solos and then the endings and like that. So we'd come up with these forms for all the material. And then going into this next record. So that first record became a Grammy-winning record. So then we got into this next process. So which is a completely different thing, because we rehearsed more for these pieces on this new record that's now also up for a Grammy. And there was a different recording process this time. We didn't only do everything here at my studio. We did it at another studio. There's more isolation, just because of that. This new record is called Night and Day, or Night Plus Day. And so there's still the sensuous, moody, whatever vibe of that from the first record that we wanted to maintain, but we also wanted to do more up stuff. So that was a little more bombastic and a little heavier rhythmically. So we needed isolation for that, because my studio, I can't do that. So that was that process. But there's a lot that obviously that we have our own practice time too. We don't always only need to be, because we've done a couple shows recently last minute where it's like we showed up and played, but we know this material. We've been doing it for so long. I mean, we could do it in our sleep. It's just a matter of re-honing the vibe of playing together. You know what I mean? But I will say, you can hear these records that we've done to this point, and that's one thing and one representation of what we do. But for me, my money, the better not the better, but just a completely different representation is hearing us live. It's a different experience live than just listening to the record. And that is also the beauty of live music anyway, is there's a different energy that happens, right? So that's that process for, yeah.
Of course, I do believe the stage and the lights, and of course the us who is going to listen to you guys.
The audience, yeah, we play off that.
Very important for any musicians, either it can be instrumentalist or vocalist.
Mm-hmm.
You need that energy from us, from the whole stage, that quiet moment of starting the show. You know, it's just total pin of silence, and then the curtain is either rising or it is going side by side. But here we go. Here is another thing coming in my mind, that friends, all these artists, they have their own story, you know, because how you start, it's kind of, if I ask this question, I would love to ask this question to you guys, that how you guys started, like, musician and work with music, because right now on screen you can see that all these four people, as I told you guys, they're from different backgrounds. One is from Israel, one is from Canada, another one is from Iran, and of course Mr. Beautiful is from Maryland. So but now they're everybody together. I can't say Mr. Handsome, he's not MH, so I have to tell him Mr. Beautiful. I don't know what else I can tell him. Yeah, but seriously, I really mean it, guys. Like, why you choose music? Because there are so many things to do, because this is something I think it's very creative, but you have to be very dedicated and passionate to hold on to it till the end. So what really made you think that, hey, I want to become this person?
You know, I have a quick answer for you for this one, and this is that you don't choose music, music chooses
you. Yeah.
You know, and it's something that it kind of goes back to what you asked before, and something that Hamid also said. We actually never practice. We actually never plan anything, but it took us about combined 200 years between us to get to that point. Really, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we practice so hard. We work so hard on an individual, perfect our knowledge, our ability, and then we put it all aside and just become present with who we play with. And I think that it's almost impossible to describe this feeling, you know? From the audience perspective, it's the beauty that you hear, but for us, it's like, it's hard to, it's only these four people who really know what it feels like, you know? And that feeling, to be honest with you, we love our audience and we play for people. But honestly, if it was just the four of us and we just played, we will be perfectly happy, because the muses come through us, they sing, and we kind of become the instruments. So we sit, it's almost, we are the audience of our own concert while playing it, so to speak, you know? So I think it's a calling. It's something that comes on you. And in fact, if it's the calling that you have and you're trying to avoid it, it's not going to be that great.
In fact, you want to be careful with musicians. You need to make sure that they actually, a comedian friend said she'd like to thank the arts for giving jobs to people who would otherwise have become genocidal cult leaders. I think what he said is correct. Music chooses you. And I always tell people who are starting out, if you can think of anything else that you would be happy doing, you should do that, because it's not an easy career path, because you never know what's going to happen next. But there are some people like me, and I think the rest of the band, that really music is the only thing we love. I mean, it's the only thing that makes our hearts happy. So you have to. And then when you find that thing that makes your heart sing, you have to give everything to it. And we have, and that's why we came together at this stage in our lives with pure love and with the ability to leave our egos at the door, and our flags, our borders, our identities, our solo work, all of it at the door. Without all of that, I don't think what we created wouldn't be the same. I mean, I know that if I didn't have my solo work, then I wouldn't be able to be so so free of agenda in this group. But and I think for this, and I bring my experience to, I know what works on stage. I know what melodies feel good. I know how to build a solo, all of that, but I couldn't have made this music in my 20s. It took me all this time to be self-centered and driven by, whatever my agenda was, to be able to meet with these exquisite musicians and just let the divine come through. And I believe that that's what makes this so special and worth fighting for, even against all odds.
Yeah. All right. So Hamid and Gordy, what will be your thoughts?
Go ahead, Hamid.
Okay. I just want to add this. Music is the most beautiful job on earth, and surviving in this job is the most difficult thing. So at the other hand, there is a lot of easier path and career that you can have to not make money. So this one is extremely difficult. You have to work so hard to not make money for that. So, but I'm gonna quote Itai, as Itai said. You have no other choice, or Lily said, you have no other choice. If you are a musician, you came to this world to do music, and you cannot do anything. And it doesn't matter that you are making money or you are not making money. To be honest with you, I'm not trying to say, okay, we are very spiritual. No, we are not that spiritual. At least I'm not. But I don't have any other choice. This is my life. And I love it. I'm enjoying it. It doesn't matter whatever happened. Thank God we are good. We are having a decent life, and we are okay. But if I wasn't okay, I didn't have any other choice as well. So it is what it is. This is my life. This is our life, and I think we are enjoying it, whatever it is.
Yeah, just to reiterate, it's a process. Not to be weird, but it's, if you could call me MB, not Gordy, because Gordy's my last name. So, but anyway, it's,
yeah, Mr. Beautiful.
But it's it's a process, and but people don't see. There's a lot of other careers. There's at least a few other careers which is similar, where there's all the time that goes into you becoming who you are that no one sees. When people come to a concert, they only see us then. They don't know what came before that. We do. From the last
hours
yeah, last 30, 40 years of practicing and learning all styles of music. We're all adept at playing all different styles of music, and Lily's in doing film composition, and Hamid's done some, and we all play sessions, and we all do a lot of different kind of things. You can't just wake up one day and go do that. There's a whole process that's involved in that no one sees. They only see that moment, right? And there's an expression that we all know, and if your listeners haven't heard this before, you're only as good as your last gig. Because all of a sudden you had a bad day, a bad, whatever, maybe didn't play so well one night, we'll know it, but the average listener wouldn't know that, but we would. I mean, we would go oh man, I could have done this, could have done that, could have done that better, blah, 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 blah. But at this level now, and at this point in our lives, that's not really an issue. I mean, it's only an issue for us. It's not an issue for the listener, because most people that have heard anything we've ever done, any given night we've ever played, or any day, whatever, any show we've done, they're like, whoa, that was amazing. And we might go, yeah, well, we could add a better, whatever. But you kind of have to let that go, because what we're doing on the level that we're doing it, it's like at this point, we're channeling, right? If you go, here's all this up here, here's this music up here. We know the themes, we know the rhythms, we know the forms, all that. But it's like, now here's this particular show. We're pulling it all out of the air and we're channeling it at that moment. And that's why live, it's a completely, when you listen to a record, that was captured at that moment. If we recorded it all again, it would be a little bit different. Not much, but it would be a little bit different, right? So that's what's great about the live shows, is like, oh, whoa, listen to that solo tonight. We just did this recently. We had, I forget where it was now, but whatever we did like a little mid Grammy promotion concert kind of thing at this art gallery. And it's like, we're playing solos and we're like, whoa, that was awesome. And we're blowing our own minds. Right. So that's the beauty of this, like for me, and I think for all of us, it's the beauty of like, you're channeling something at that moment that didn't happen the last moment, or yesterday or last week or last year even, so yeah. So that's.
If I can add to what he just said, people sometimes ask me what is my favorite and what are the highlights of my career, because we've all of us have had extraordinary concert experiences on the biggest stages in the world, Vienna Opera House, Carnegie Hall, Hollywood Bowl, wherever. But for me, it's never about I played with the Rolling Stones or opened for Led Zeppelin or Jimmy Page and Robert Plant. It's about what are the times that I've been that I've received, that I've been the most touched by spirit when music is happening. How quickly can I get into the flow? How quickly can I and how intensely am I feeling spirit fill me, so that I can just listen and express and feel like enraptured. And that is really at its pinnacle with this group of musicians. Partly because it's not just me, it's not just any one of us, it's the way that our spirits dance together is such a profound gift. And we all know it. It's sort of like it's being in love. It's, when real love touches you, it doesn't matter how challenging it can be sometimes. You just have to fight for it, because it's what makes life worth living, truly. And this music has brought that passion out of me, so much. And it's just such a profound gift. So really, it's one of the highlights of my life.
When you guys make any composition, right? That time, what really plays in your mind? Like, what do you really think? Because to like I can say that to take the words and put it into the tune and rhythm and do it soulfully, or I can say that to touch it with your soul, like what do you really think about it? Like how you put the emotion in it? Because even though you were like playing instruments or you were singing, so that emotion, that part, how you guys put that together?
It's a very good question.
We don't know. It's given to us.
Yeah, exactly. I don't remember. I have no idea. We are. I think the most of the time, musicians witnessing whatever they did, and a lot of times it happens that after just a month, when you're listening to your music and you're shocked, oh my God, did I played on that music? Did I wrote that music? I personally, I have no idea, and I do not remember the process. I don't know. You guys remember? You guys know?
Well, I think a little bit. I mean, but it's more of a technical thing, right? But the deeper element is just what we're all what was Hamid and Itai just said, which was it. There's a sort of a sort of a cosmic element to it, spiritual element to it, or whatever that we can't describe. Okay, it's hard to describe. It just goes, it just flows because of our music is so improvisational to start with. You know, we have themes, but then when we improvise, we improvise. I mean, we go, you know, and that's again back to that channeling thing. But I mean, you know, we could get specific and say, well, okay, so Hamid had this idea for a melody, or Lily had this idea for a melody, or Itai and I came up with this groove, and then we added this and we added that, and yeah, there's that process, and that it changes a little bit from tune to tune, and anyway, so it's more of the element of like just the flow of how it all goes. And then all of a sudden here we have this song or this piece of music, you know, and some of, well, quite a few of them have evolved from what they started at, right? There was like a little cell of an idea to a bigger thing to like, oh, now we'll have this improv, and then there's this solo, and that's like, well, no, let's not have that solo, you know, whatever. So we've had to change things too. When we went and did a TED talk in India, back in February before COVID, so of 2020. You know, we had to change things up because we're limited on time, you know, for that. So we had to change that to, you know, so there's that process. But yeah, but I think the bigger part of it is kind of hard to describe because we all come to it with the same attitude of like, let's go. What are we going to do? Let's make something happen here. So.
I know that you are really interested in what they're saying, right? But you know what? We have to take a short break. I mean, it is not like short, a little longer, maybe 4 or 5 days. Yes, we are gonna be back again next week with all these beautiful artists. That's my promise. With Itai, with Lily, with MB, and of course with Hamid. We're gonna be back again next week. But till then, please wait for us. Don't go anywhere. Please catch us again next Wednesday at 8 p.m. with your favorite stars and your favorite show, Star Darbar. Till then, bye.
Bye.